Genesis chapter 37. Now Jacob dwelt in the land where his father had sojourned, in the land of Canaan. This is the genealogy of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was shepherding the sheep with his brothers. Now the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to his father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his sons, because he was the son of his old age. He also made him a tunic of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak civilly to him. Then Joseph had a dream and reported it to his brothers. Thus he said to them, "Hear this dream I dreamed. There we were, binding sheaves in the field. Then behold, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And indeed, your sheaf stood all around and bowed down to my sheaf." So his brothers said to him, "Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. Then he dreamed still another dream and told it to his brothers and said, "Look, I have dreamed another dream, and this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me." So he told it to his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come and bow down on the ground before you?" And his brothers envied him, but his father kept the matter in mind. Then his brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, Are not your brothers shepherding the sheep in Shechem? Come, I will send you to them." So he said to him, "Here I am." Then Israel said to him, "Go and see if it is well with your brothers, and well with the sheep, and bring back word to me." So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he went to Shechem. Now a certain man found him, and there he was, wandering in the field. So the man asked him, saying, "What are you seeking?" He replied, "I am looking for my brothers. Tell me where they are feeding their sheep." The man said to him, "They have departed from here, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. Now when they saw him afar off, even before he came near them, they conspired against him to kill him. Then they said to one another, "Look, this dreamer is coming. Come therefore, let us now kill him and cast him into some pit, and we shall say, 'Some wild beast has devoured him.' We shall see what will become of his dreams." But Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, "Let us not kill him." Again Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood, but cast him into this pit in the desert. Do not lay a hand on him, that he might deliver him out of their hands, and bring him back to his father." So it came to pass, when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped the tunic of many colors off him. Then they took him and cast him into a pit, which was empty, for there was no water in it. They then sat down to eat a meal, and lifted their eyes and looked, and there was a company of Ishmaelite wayfarers coming from Gilead with their camels, bearing spices, balm, and myrrh, on their way to carry them down to Egypt. So Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is there if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. But let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh." And his brothers listened. Thus the Midianite traders passed by, and the brothers pulled Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit, and they sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of gold. So they took Joseph to Egypt. Then Reuben returned to the pit, and when he saw Joseph was not in there, he tore his clothes. So he returned to his brothers and said, "The lad is not there, and where shall I go?" Thus they took Joseph's tunic, killed a kid of the goats, and dipped the tunic in the blood. Then they sent the tunic of many colors and had it brought to their father, and said, "We found this. Do you know whether it is your son's tunic or not?" So he recognized it and said, "This is my son's tunic. A wild animal has devoured Joseph and carried him off." Then Jacob tore his clothes, put sackcloth on his waist, and mourned for his son many days. Thus all his sons and daughters arose to comfort him, But he refused to be comforted, and he said, I shall go down into the grave to my son in mourning. So his father wept for him. Now the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and captain of the guard.